Hello, welcome back to my series of how to build an animatronic. Last episode, if you saw it, we built this system here, which was the eyes. Obviously, I've taken the paper clip out so it's a little bit loose, but this is what we built. If you haven't seen that old video already, what are you doing here? Go back, because you're going to be lost otherwise. You need to go back now. So, I'm hoping that you have now just watched it right this second, and we are now continuing on with the build. So I said last video that today's episode is going to be on the eyelids. I kept accidentally saying eyebrows. Eyelids is what I meant to say. I'm gonna have a top and a bottom one, and they will sit. If I can, they will sit probably under here. Now my idea is to make a new base and just keep the eye mechanisms. The only thing that will change is the base. Hopefully that will work. I'm not too sure about the servos, but I will get into that when I show you the CAD drawing. So let's go hop over to my new design. Welcome back to CAD. This, as you can see, there are some differences now from last time. The base is a lot bigger, and we also have some eyelids and eyebrows. So let me just talk you through what I've done. So we've extended it here on the left and the right, and we've also added boxes for the servos to go in. There's also these arms which will go up here to where the eyes are, and then also the same thing has been done on this side. Not to be fair, it's not had too much done to it, but obviously it does look substantially different. The eyelids are the same that was on my Mark I version, so I haven't actually built anything new with these, and also the same with the eyes. I haven't actually, these are again off my Mark I, but I just filled in the little cutout that was in there before, so there's no cutout here now. But yeah, so this is the eyelid system. I need to come up with a way for these servos to control the top and the bottom eyelids, because before I wanted to have one servo that would be in the center, but I didn't realize that there wasn't going to be enough room here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I will come up with it. What I need to do now, I think, is I just need to print everything out, do some measurements, and see how easily we can get these eyelids to be connected to the servo. Worst case scenario, we will use a paper clip, but hopefully we don't get to that. So yeah, let's print. Base is now printed, as you can see. Everything that we want is here. The printer is currently printing the eyes and the eyelids, so you have to excuse the noise. It should quieten down a bit in a second. But yeah, it's printed pretty well. Now I'm going to move everything over from... So now I'm going to move everything over from this one onto this one. Let's get into that. Here's the difference between the old one and the new one. As you can see, the main structure is still sort of there, but there's a couple of differences. Obviously it's a lot bigger. I've just taken everything off of this one, and I'm now going to move everything over to this one. So all of the components are now in. That was in the last one, as you can see. There's still two holes which are for servos. So I've sort of butchered it a little bit, but it's fine. I didn't realise that my slopes here would stop the servos from being able to get in, and also because I printed it without supports, this was a little bit, it ended up this hole being too small. This one was fine. I managed to get this servo in, but it meant that I accidentally snapped this piece off, so that's gluing back on. And this side I just decided to cut the top off, so now the servo can go in there nice and easy. I was gonna, typically I would just reprint this, but I don't have a whole lot of filler at the moment, and I'm trying to save it, so this is just a test. So I just destroyed it and got everything to fit. But I am going to alter it in my files, so when they all get uploaded they will be fixed. It's just this one version right now is butchered, but it's fine. Let's continue to put everything back together. Everything that was on my old one is now on this one, plus the 2 servos. I'm going to wire up this servo and the switch. This servo is now in, obviously this one is not, and neither is this one. And this obviously needs to be plugged into the battery pack. I'm now going to see if I can connect these 2 servos up to this one channel. Now I have an idea of how I might do this. So here I've got a breadboard and wires. Now I'm going to wire up channel 2 on my breadboard, and then I'm also going to wire channel 2 on my breadboard, and then I'm going to have each channel connected to the servos. It should work in theory, but yeah, we'll see. So here I'm going to plug in my channel 2 plugs. So this one will be ground. I'm going to sort of match the colours up as close as I can. Got that one. And then we'll have orange in as red. And I'm going to take each 3 of these connections and plug them into a different row. So we're going to have that one in that row, that one in that row, and that one in that row. Now I'm going to have all of my wires corresponding to those. So we're going to have yellow in here, plug in another yellow. Blue one can go in this one with the green, and then our whites can go in this one here. Now we've got our 2 cables like this, and we're just going to plug in a different one to each part. We want in the middle, the white cable, and the yellow one can then go in there. And then the remaining cables we just want to put in the same places as these ones. There we go. So now that these 2 servos are now hooked up to that one receiver channel, which means that they should move at the same time. So now we've got our left and right still plugged in, and now up and down should move these 2 servos at the same time, and it is not. Something has been put in wrong. Let me just have a look and I'll tell you what I've done wrong. So I got one of my cables incorrectly. Test it now. So we've got our left and right, up and down. Okay. They work, but they are obviously moving in opposite directions. So I need to reverse those. Somehow I've come to a somewhat solution for this. So obviously there's 2 servos. One of them needs to rotate clockwise, the other one needs to rotate counterclockwise. I've done some research to see how I can flip this servo to go the other way around, and from what I can tell there is no particular easy way to do it, other than I can put in a microcontroller, or I've seen someone do it with a bigger servo, is that they've opened it up and they've soldered the positive and negative in reversed. So they've taken the positive and put on the negative, and taken the negative and put on the positive. I've not seen someone do it with a micro servo, so this might work in it or it might not. I know I wanted everything to be nice and easy, and this is probably going to be the most complicated part, so we're going to try it out. It's either going to work or it's not. I don't even know if it's possible, but let's find out. Let's open this servo up. This isn't exactly what I was expecting, so there's not a positive and a negative. However, these are connected to the motor. Soldering the servo did not work. It just caused it to continuously rotate, so it's annoying. but it's fine. You know, we tried it. You don't know these things if you don't know. So I am left with no other option but to introduce our good old friend, the Arduino. This will be going in, and then I'll be coding this to reverse the servo. I didn't really want to. I wanted to try and avoid putting an Arduino in it, but I knew I was going to have to at some point, so now's the time. So after many, many painful hours of coding, we have finally gotten it to work. The twitching here is apparently caused due to lack of power. Obviously, my Arduino is currently plugged in the back here from my computer. I've tried this extra battery pack, but it doesn't seem to like it. So realistically, what I need is a power supply unit, which obviously I don't have. So we have to deal with the twitching. However, we now have our left and right servo working, and also our eyelids also work. Yeah, which is great. Let me show you what I've done. So our Arduino here is plugged into obviously our receiver and our 3 servos. This is obviously all our positive and negative lines, which are all hooked up. There's not really a whole lot to it. Up and down here obviously controls the eyelids. It can go back. I'm not too sure what use I make with the back, but yeah. And then obviously our left and right here controls our left and right servo. I would explain the code to you, but I don't really understand it myself, but it will be eventually linked when I set up the Patreon, so you can just copy and paste it. Let's assemble this now and get everything together. I have here all of the eyes and eyelids and stuff. I need to make some pins to obviously connect these down here, which obviously I don't have, so I need to make some of those. The eyes are working now and they can go on, but yeah, I'm just going to assemble everything together, get some pins, and yeah, we'll see how it works. This video is taking double the amount of time that I've wanted this to take, and it's causing more problems every second, which is frustrating. But I've got some ideas and things which I'm doing right now. You can see I'm probably hearing my printers on at the moment. Because we are reprinting the stand because there's certain problems. I attempted to print it out once, and as you can see it failed, so we're printing it out again. Changes on this stand, you can see though, I've raised these up a little bit. There's going to be little prongs in here. You'll see everything in a second when that's all done. Yeah, many problems. But the good news is we've now got the mechanism working through the coding. So now when this is printed, I'm going to just assemble it all together, make sure that it works, and then yeah, we'll call it a day. I say a day, it's probably going to take about 3 days to get that done, but you know, it's fine. We're on like a week so far. Yeah, it's taken a long time, but we'll get there eventually. It's all a learning curve, you know, and there's me trying to make it sound easy. But yeah, so the pie is printing now. Let's hop over to it once it's done, and then we can assemble everything. We are back with hopefully the last piece that I will have to print on this video, because I swear to God, if I have to print any more, I'm actually going to go insane. So the fixed one now, we have a little prongy thing here for the eyelids. It's like a stick, I don't know what to call it. It's, you can see what it is. I didn't need to describe to you what it is. I've also raised the servos up now as well, so hopefully that will work. But everything else is pretty much the same. So for the 3rd time now, I need to move everything over to this one, and hopefully everything is going to work. And I don't have a whole lot of batteries left in my controller, and I don't have any, so I'm hoping I can get this all done before this runs out of battery. It does still works, but sometimes I have to give it a whack for it to work, but it's fine. We're getting there. We're doing it. It's fine. It's good. Last piece. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're nearly there. I really hope. Let's assemble it. Okay, I've just realised something which makes me a massive idiot. I forgot to put the holes back in the corners. Oh, good lord. How have I forgotten that? I don't know if... I'm not too sure how I'm going to fix this. Problem solved. back to the time lapse. Oh, and just to top it off, I never put the holes in to screw these servos back in. So, God's sake. I wonder if I can just screw them in anyway. There's only one way to fix a dumb mistake, and that's to do more dumb stuff to try and fix it. I'm an absolute genius. I knew it. I knew I was onto something there. You know, I knew I was just slowly getting there. Back to the time lapse. Okay, there's just a couple more things I need to do. The top eyelids are a little bit stiff, so I'm going to just get my file and just file those down a bit. This obviously needs hooking up, and then I need to glue the eyes onto this, which is easier said than done, because I've effectively massacred my glue because the end keeps gluing up. There's not a lot more left to cut off the end, so that's easier said than done. But yeah, I need to glue these on, file this down, and then I can then put the servo ends on and try and wire up the top and bottom eyelids. There's not too much left to do. We're actually making progress now, which is good. Let's go on to the filing. They're all filed down now. They're a lot more looser, as you can see. The next part that I need to do is the fun bit, and that's wire up the servos to the eyelids. And I'm not looking forward to that one, but it has to be done. So let's do it. All right. So we have got the eyelids in now. The paper clips are all on. It looks a bit messy. They need trimmed down so they fit. But yeah, that's the eyelids in. So I go ahead and plug in my Arduino and turn on my controller. The eyelids work. So now we obviously need our left and right, but yeah. You see one goes down a little bit further than the other. That can be fixed by adjusting the paper clip lengths. Like, as you can see, this one's sort of like falling back, so if I just pull that one forward a bit more. They're a bit closer, but not quite. Anyway, so let's put in the eyes and the eye servo now. So now we've got everything working, as you can see. You can see that one eyelid is obviously a lot smoother than the other when it moves, and this one's not. This one's a little bit more quicker. But the reason why is just because the paper clips on the back obviously aren't symmetrical, so they're not moving at the same time. But it's an easy fix. But yeah, it's fine. It works perfectly fine. If you see on my controller here, if I zoom out a bit so you can see, my left and right here will control the eyelids. And then my left and right stick here is the eyes. So that is the animatronic eye system, complete and working. We have the top and bottom eyelids just as I wanted. We've got the middle eye system. As I messed up on the top here. The receiver isn't obviously in here, it's just back here in the electronics with the Arduino. It's been a challenge. It's definitely been a challenge, but it's learning, and I got it to work, which is the main thing. As I say, any type of problem or challenge can easily be resolved with persistence. I was going to upload these on Patreon. I don't have that account yet, so you'll have to bear with me. This system here is not going to be used in my animatronic. Obviously, I'm going to take some parts, but obviously the one that I'm doing only needs a top eyelid, so it doesn't need the bottom one, but the bottom eyelid works now, which is the main thing. I now know how to do that if I need to. Obviously I could do cleaning up the paper clips, but that's okay. But everything else needs redesigning. But yeah, that is it for my how to build an animatronic series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to try and build an animatronic yourself, let me know. Show me what you've built. My next video, I'm going to kind of take a step away from animatronics a bit. I've got a different video idea planned. The reason why is because my actual big animatronic that I want to build is going to cost a little bit more, and I'm on a tight budget at the moment, so I can't afford all the things that I need for it. Like, I want to get a power supply, a new controller and receiver, a lot more other things, and obviously I don't have the money for that at the moment, so I'm not going to be building my next animatronic next video. Stay in tune, and then I will be building it eventually. Thanks for watching. This has been a very difficult video. It was a lot harder than I was expecting just to get the eyes printed. Many back sets. This has taken so long to film. I don't think you understand. For a very simple mechanism, it's taken ages, and it's mostly through my own fault, through just not thinking of things through before I print them. It's been nice. It's enjoyable now. We have the final result. It's rewarding that I can see it now working. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you want to see more of my videos, give me a subscribe. If you want to go back and look at my first episode, give that a watch. If you want to see my shorts, they're cool. I've got my main animatronic in that video and how I built that. So yeah, thanks. See you later.